Welcome, welcome. Today is Monday, April 19th. Hopefully everybody's in good health. For today, self-start. First question wants us to combine some like terms. So we're looking for things that are similar that we can combine. So when I look at this, I see that I can combine a negative 5m and a negative 3m. Notice how I'm including the sign in front with my shape. So now I have a negative 5m and a negative 3m, which gives me a negative 8m. And then I can combine my 7 and my negative 2, which gives me a positive 5. For factoring, this is something that we haven't done in quite a while. So we're looking for numbers that when you multiply them together equal 12. So that would be like 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. For 22, it would be 1 and 22, and 2 and 11. We're looking for the biggest number that they have in common. When I look at it, the biggest number they have in common is this 2 right here. So we're going to pull that out, and then we're going to put everything else inside parentheses. So when I factor a 2 out of 12, I'm left with a 6, and I'm going to remember my variable. When I pull a 2 out of 22, I'm left with an 11. So this right here would be factored, and if you wanted to check your work, you could do rainbows to see if you came up with the same answer, which 2 times 6f would be 12f, and 2 times 11 would be 22, so we're good. For this one, we do the rainbows. Woo! Rainbow! So 4, when we do the rainbows, don't forget we're multiplying. 4 times a 11h is going to give me 44h. 4 times a 10 is going to give me a 40. That should be 4. 0. There we go. For some math jokes, why does no one invite pi to parties? Well, he just goes on forever. And what's the smart bird's favorite type of math? It is algebra. Smart bird is an owl. Okay. If you were here on Friday, substitute said for the most part my classes did well, so thank you very much. The other thing, because this week's lesson is only 1 week long, you're going to have one feedback, and that feedback is only going to have 4 questions. But that means we're going to give you guys an awful lot of information. So if you can, be here, and if you can't, make sure that you're watching these videos at home so that you're staying caught up. For today, we've done the self-start. We're going to move into our last topic of the school year, which is probability. We're going to give you some vocabulary words, and then we're going to do an activity in class that you will not be have to worry about at home. So probability is defined as the chance that an event will occur. So something happens. So it can be written as a fraction, decimal, or percent. So you can say that the probability of rolling a dice and landing on 1, or you could say, what's the probability that I'm going to pull a green M&M out of a bag? So yeah, that's kind of what probability is. Relative frequency is how many times something occurred. So if I reached into a bag and pulled 5 green marbles, then I would say that the relative frequency is 5 times out of however many times I drew. The theoretical probability, this is defined as what could happen. You know, with flipping a coin, I could get heads. Rolling a dice, I could get a 1, or I could get a 2, or I could get a 3. So theoretical is what could happen. Experimental is what did happen. I rolled the dice 5 times and got a number 1 twice. So experimental is what did. So next thing you'll need to know is what an event is. An event is a specific outcome. So it is how, rolling a 5 or drawing a green or getting heads or something like that. So when you're asked to find the probability of something happening, it's going to look like this. You're going to have the letter P on the outside, and then inside parentheses, you're going to have the event. So that P means probability. So it might look like this: probability of getting a green, or the probability of getting heads, or the probability of getting a 6. So inside the parentheses is the event that we're looking for. The P on the outside just means probability. So again, theoretical is what could happen. If I flip a coin, I could land on heads, or I could land on tails, or I roll a dice, I could get a 2 or a 4. Experimental is what did happen. I flipped a coin 10 times and got heads 3 of those times. So, and something has to happen with this. I flipped a coin. I drew a name out of a hat 10 times. I drew 10 M&Ms out of a bag and got red 4 times. Something has to happen for it to be an experimental. So for horse racing, this is something we're going to be doing in class. Those of you at home, don't worry too much about it. Just pay close attention to the notes, the vocabulary, and you'll be just fine. So if you have any questions, let your teacher know, email, or through Canvas. Have a great day, guys.